There's still a few key areas on the team that we want to try to continue to address as we head into the last day.
Hey everyone, it's Heidi Fang here with Vinny Bonsignore, our Raiders beat writer. Time to wrap up day 2 of the NFL draft here from Raiders headquarters, where 3 selections were made by the Las Vegas Raiders, starting with trading up for a tight end that I think the Raiders were a little surprised to get, Vinny.
Oh, no doubt about it. And we're talking about Michael Mayer, the standout tight end from Notre Dame. And this is a pick that a player that the Raiders really started tracking in the first round. They were thinking about and having talks with trading back into the first round to get Michael Mayer. So to get him at pick 35, yeah, they had to give up a 4th-round pick, I think 141, and of course their 2nd-round pick in order to go get him at pick number 35. But this is a guy that's going to be, I think, a day 1 starter. He might turn out to be the best player out of the Raiders draft this year, and that's not taking anything away from Tyree Wilson, who I think has a chance to be really good. But Michael Mayer is a special player, and I think Raider fans are going to love this guy.
I'm going to jump over 1 pick here just because you mentioned it. He brings something special to the offense, something that they needed in having traded Darren Waller to the New York Giants, in which they acquired the number 100 pick. There they picked up a standout with Cincinnati, wide receiver specialist. What do you make of him in this role for the Raiders?
Yeah, don't judge him by his size. This is a tough little football player. I said little, and I don't really even mean to do that because he is small in stature. But a former wrestler, tough-minded, really smart and engaging. We talked to him after the draft tonight. Really interesting to hear his story about being a former wrestler. And, when you're 5'9", you better do some things to be able to be a 3rd-round pick in the NFL. And he does them. He brings speed, a lot of agility and quickness, kind of the prototypical sort of slot wide receiver that if you go back to Josh McDaniels' former life in New England, guys like Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman, this is cut right out of that kind of a page. So I think it's a fit for what the Raiders are trying to do offensively, especially at that position. The question is, they've got a lot of wide receivers now.
Yeah,
and
that's a big question.
A lot of wide receivers and quite a few in the slot.
Right.
So I'm wondering how the math is going to work out. And I wouldn't be surprised if, no doubt, not all of these guys are going to make it. I'm wondering how many are actually going to make it to training camp. And can you use that population to maybe go pick up another draft pick or fill a need elsewhere on the roster? So keep an eye on that.
There are some needs still on this roster. I think a lot of people had the expectation that cornerback would happen there, maybe linebacker would happen there at that number 100 pick, where there were still plenty of available cornerbacks. They are still available.
Yeah.
What do you think happens coming tomorrow, day 3? The Raiders started off with, as of right now, pick 109 in the 4th round.
Right.
Do you have any expectation that the focus could be defense?
Yeah, I do, and we're going to find out pretty quick because 109 is going to come at you pretty quick tomorrow morning how they feel about some of these cornerbacks that are still left. And there's a couple of good ones, so and that could still be there at 109. If they skip on a cornerback, any of the ones that we're thinking about right now, it kind of tells you that, kind of lukewarm with that position at this point in the draft. And that, Dave Ziegler pointed this out, it could be a position that they circle back to in free agency, post-draft free agency. There's some candidates out there that could come in and play a role and just stave that off for 1 more year. And with the guys that they brought in on 1-year contracts this year and some of the younger players that they have on the roster, try to cobble it together and do the best they can.
They did get 1 defensive tackle in this draft. That would be at the number 70 pick. They got a guy from Alabama, defensive tackle Byron Young. What do you make of him and how they plan to use him? It seems like the word versatility continues to come up.
Yeah, versatility as an inside presence, somebody that they could play outside. A player that is starting to play his best football, played a lot of football at Alabama. That's always a good sign when a freshman gets into the rotation as a true freshman in Tuscaloosa. So he's played a lot of football, and he showed that he could do a little pass rush last year, and I think that the Raiders are going to try to build off of that.
And we'll see how they continue to build this roster tomorrow, 9 a.m. the start time for day 3 of the NFL draft. The Raiders, as of right now, have pick 109 in the 4th round, and also total of 7 picks on the day as of right now. Again, we say that because you never know what can happen here in the NFL draft, but we will keep you updated with all of our Vegas Nation crew at vegasnation.com. For Vinny Bonsignore, I'm Heidi Fang. Thank you for watching.